Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CG Cookie live stream. Sorry we're a little later today. I'm just trying to figure some things out on the back end. I found out that it is actually daylight savings time within this week and next, so it might be a little funky if you might have noticed we're starting an hour earlier. It's because America hasn't gone through it and will not go through the hour pushback until the 6th, which I believe is Sunday. So next week we should be back on schedule, but if this is an hour earlier, I'm sorry for those of you that can't make it if you're watching on YouTube, but it should be all fixed by next week. So thank you guys for coming to the stream. And today we have a pretty exciting one. It's going to be a very short one because I'm going to get right to it with the contest announcements. I'm just going to be talking a little bit before about what is happening with our Twitch because last week we created custom emoticons, and obviously a few of you might have noticed that we have a subscriber button, and we're going to kind of start implementing that throughout the month of November, and I'm going to be streaming a lot more, not just our weekly Wednesday ones, but of a bunch of casual ones as well. So as people are joining in, I would like to ask you guys to put where you're watching from. I always like to see where you guys are watching from, and we will then get started in a few minutes here. And might I say it, this has been a really great contest for me to look over just because, and thank you, Puff Markish, for following. This stream we actually had, thank you, Mad Dizzle, for following. We had just under 120 entries, and the Halloween is always my favorite contest just because my favorite time of the year, and I always like seeing the spooky stuff you guys create. So this one was a great contest for some neat witch art. And honestly, I liked reading. I read every single contest entry post. So for those of you that took the time to write out like a story or something more that you wanted to come across with your piece, just know that I did read it. And not only did I read it, but most of the judges, I can almost assume they all read most of them because of the feedback that they gave. They were really insightful. It was more than just like good job or I like this one because I like the color. It was more than that. It became more of like a critique as well. So for those of you that have entered and that placed in the top, I think there were, let me count. There were 12 top picks between the 6 judges, and you will see momentarily which ones those were and which ones won the top 3. So I'm almost done with the marketing. Thank you guys for bearing with me today. It's been a very strange morning with figuring out this time zone difference and then making sure that the contest page is all updated. And for those of you who want to read through all the critiques and comments that all the judges left, it will be posted later tonight. I just got to finish cleaning up some areas on the post, but for the most part, I'm very pleased to say that I think if you placed in the top 12, you'll definitely be glad of the feedback that you're getting. Okay, I'm almost done. And today's stream is brought to you from, let's see, what is this today? Oh, this is Sweet Harvest Caramel Apple Tea. So for those of you who are also drinking tea, I hope it is something also harvest and fall themed. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, officially. Hi, everyone. I'm Tim Von Rieden with cgcookie.com, and we do these weekly Wednesday live streams for the concept department. And usually the topics are given about an hour or two beforehand, but I usually tell you what I want to do the week before. And these are meant to not only help educate, but hopefully have some fun along the process. So if these are something that interests you, just know I will also be doing more casual streams as weekly Wednesday ones will always happen, and they always happen at 2 p.m. Central Time. And a thank you, TTTEE, for following. and I'm looking forward to doing more casual ones. So before I jump right into the Halloween contest, like I said, as it started, this is going to be a short stream today. There's a lot going on, and I just want to get through the updates, and then we will go through the Halloween contest winners. But before that, like I said, I'm going to be doing more casual streams. Why, thank you, EG Godo, for following. And I am very curious of what you guys want to see me do, because I think now that I've been giving the okay from my boss to do more casual streams, why, thank you, Bartolomeo Joscolod. Oh, I'm sorry. I butchered that. I am so sorry. And thank you, Suya. I think that's Jonathan Hamilton. Thank you for following. But yeah, I am very curious of what you guys want to see from me for casual streams. These are streams that won't have much talking like I normally do, because sometimes I ramble. But I will definitely do that for each of the Wednesday live streams. But I think for the casual streams, it'll be more or less me painting. And then every now and then I will communicate with the text. But for the most part, I think I'm going to keep it more lax, and I'm going to be working for most of it. And if you want to come watch me work, that's fine. But if you would rather have that interaction, definitely come to the Wednesday ones. Well, thank you, Kathy Crow, for following. So I think you guys should know I'm going to be entering the DeviantArt Kubo contest. So I think starting sometime next week, I will be live streaming my process from start to finish. And I'm really looking forward to this one. I haven't done fan art in a while. I normally don't do it, but I think for the DeviantArt contest, I do it with my friends, so I want to enter this year. Well, thank you, HG162, for following. So if watching a Kubo illustration piece come to life is something that you're interested in, I will be starting it next week, as it is due on the 13th. And if you want more info about it, just go to DeviantArt. They have it plastered and advertised everywhere. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you were here last week, you know that we created the emoticons, and they aren't in yet because I need to do some editing on the back end. I didn't realize that there was some approval process with the emoticons, and even there's a sub prefix before it. So I'm going through that process, and they will all be here next week. I think it actually is more fitting if it starts next week, because I'm starting more casual streams, so those will be available to you. And I think then the subscriber button will have more oomph behind it. Well, thank you, Colbia0813, for following. Man, you guys are... I haven't even done anything. I've just been talking, but thank you for following. And yes, for those of you who are wondering, I will be putting those up. I know I had a few people asking if I'm going to be doing the Twitch badges. I will also be doing those for next week. So there's a lot planned, and I'm very curious of what you guys want to see more with these casual streams. These are brand new for me. I haven't really done casual streaming too much, so if you have any good suggestions, maybe leave them in the community forum, as I am definitely open and willing to try some new streams. So, okay. I think that's most of the news I have. Let me double check here. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So everyone, officially welcome to the Halloween contest results. We had just under 120 entries, and honestly, there was a great level of quality and skill that went into a lot of these entries, and it was kind of hard to pick a clear out winner, but there were definitely two that stood among the pack. So let me go ahead and get started here. So the Halloween contest theme this year, if you guys are not familiar, for those of you who are watching that have no idea what I'm talking about, we do seasonal contests, and for fall, I always do a Halloween themed one. So this year was the Boy Witch. I feel like I'm doing like a PowerPoint presentation, but I promise it's not like that. So for this contest, we actually brought in guest judges. We have myself, but along with Gawky, Sean Price, Jonathan Hamilton, Feverworm, and Psychra were also given the contest entries and asked to pick their top 5 and write a blurb about each. And they gave really great feedback. I was very impressed that it was more than just, oh, that looks good, or that I like this because the colors are complementary. Like it was very insightful, and I think if you guys are interested in reading more about the feedback, that will be out tonight, and there is a lot for each image that they picked. And overall, there were 12. So throughout the 6 of us, and we all had to pick 5 each, there were 12 entries that were picked among the bunch, and there were 2 that actually every single judge picked in their list. They were in different orders, but there were 2 that actually got everyone's vote, and those are the 2 that are actually in the top spots. So if you guys are interested in doing these contests, just know that we have a new one coming up in this winter. It'll probably be January if I had to take a stab at it in the dark right now. But I am thinking we are going to go back to the candy world that we created previously. So if that is something that interests you, I definitely think we're going to be doing more of a Candyland themed contest again. So as a reminder for what you guys will be winning, here are the pumpkins and the awards that come with them. And this is the first time that I put in the exclusive critique in the first place. I might do that for the top 4 from now on, but I noticed that this is something that you guys have asked for. And even in a previous contest, I had the winner email me asking if they could just receive critique and feedback more so than the prize money, because they found that they would rather hear what could be better and what could be improved upon, because that knowledge is more important than financial gain. It was a very interesting email to receive, and I really like that mindset. I think that's very noble and honorable. So I think from now on, I might start implementing that as a prize that is a staple. So that is something that you will always win if you are one of the tops. And for those of you that are talking in the comment section, if you are asking me a specific question, please put at CG Cookie Concept before your question. That way when I look over, I can see the comments quickly and if there's any questions that I need to answer. So, let me move that back over. There we go. All right, so all in all, I was very impressed with this contest. I want to thank each and every one of you for doing it. I know how much time and effort goes into doing these contests, and please don't get discouraged if you didn't win. I'm telling you now, I have entered 11 contests in my life, and I've only won 3 of them. So those 8 times that I didn't win, yeah, you feel a little hurt, and there might come a sting of discouragement, but I promise you, you learn so much from doing these contests, and the real reward is learning something new. It's not so much a prize or a standing result. It's the idea that you're gaining knowledge through doing these contests, and that's essentially why we're doing them. And I hope that you guys have felt it with this contest, or if you've done previous contests with us. And I just want each of you to know that if you didn't take one of the top spots, please don't get discouraged, as I really think it comes down to what you learn. So let's get right into it. So the first award that I'm going to do is the Community Award, and this is the award that received the most likes on their image on the community page on where all the final entries were. So I believe it was with 53 likes. The Community Award goes to, I need like a drum machine with me. There we go. Nomi. And this was a piece that was interesting for me to see because I believe you submitted like a week into it, and it held up all the way through the end as the most liked image. There were a few that came really close near the end, but you actually took home the Community Award. And for your prizes, you will receive a $50 Amazon gift card, a 2-month membership at CG Cookie, and a cookie t-shirt. Really quick, let me see if there are any questions. Vera Sketch says, is your forum free or pay to join? Nope, it is absolutely free. Anyone can join it, and it's open for anyone to post, comment, and reply to others. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a link below. It is Baker, who is the CG Cookie mascot. He's at like a computer, and I drew him up as a zombie. So if you click that link, it'll take you to the community site. Yushin7 says, will those casual streams be on this channel? Yes. I debated doing them on my personal account a while back, but after talking with my boss and him being comfortable with me doing casual streams, I'm going to take more of a leap with the CG Cookie name, and I'm going to do my casual streams on here. So even if I'm doing traditional or my own work, I'm going to do it through this channel. And then I think we're good. Okay. So congrats again to Nomi. You received the most likes. You are the most loved throughout the community in terms of your imagery. And honestly, this was one of my favorites when I first saw it because of one, I think I am particular about, I like matte looking things, and this had a very matte appeal to it. But you did a great job with incorporating a bunch of patterns and fabrics without it becoming overbearing or an eyesore, which is I would say that's definitely a challenge in itself. The contest, the parameters or one of the requirements was to have these complicated fabrics and a bunch of patterns, and they were stitched and woven together. And honestly, it's hard to make it look good without it becoming sloppy or an eyesore or something that doesn't, it's disconnected. So I thought this was a good example where you use the patterns, but it wasn't overbearing. It was just the right level of uh, connecting them in a way where it still made sense, but you could see that it had a complicated look to it. So congrats again, Nomi. And if for those of you that have been keeping track with the awards, you might have noticed that the membership is actually doubled and the gift card wasn't meant for the community award, but that's because the third place winner, I really should just buy a drum because I do these contests all the time, was also Nomi. So this was an interesting take where usually we do have a community award double up with one of the top picks. But for this one, we had a few of the judges pick Nomi as well. And you have won the third place bronze pumpkin. So those awards that I just labeled for the community one also doubles for your third place winning. So once again, a huge congrats to Nomi. Thank you for entering, and I'm really glad to see this one take one of the tops, as I enjoyed this one since it was first published. So congrats. All right. Serious time. Now, when we get into the top two, there were 6 judges, like I said, and all 6 of us picked these top 2 to be in the final standing. Now, if you've looked through the contest entries, I think these 2 stood out above the rest in terms of their quality. But the thing that's different is they're very different styles. One has a more realistic take and one has more of a stylized take. So in the end, it was really close. It honestly came down to a 1-point difference. And with that, in second place, we have Sarah Litke. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but Sarah is also known as Cotton Bun on the community forum. And this one received a lot of love from the judges. I believe everyone gave a critique of it, but most of their feedback was very positive. They loved the shape language, the initial designs. You know what? I should have posted they had preliminary sketches along with this rendered one, and it had a very strong sense of who the character was, and you could just see the story behind it with just one look. And the way that you played with your proportions, it has this really strong shape language where the cape and the hat double as like this very strong triangle, but then all of his limbs are very long and lanky. And it creates this very cool looking character. And even with your color palette, it's a very strong color palette in terms of the way you rendered it. There were some areas where I think some of the judges liked some of the other color combinations you chose or that you had on your concept board. But yellow is always a very tough color to render out. It can definitely be a scene stealer. And I think the way that you handled this one, it's a very rich yellow. I think if you went more neon, it may have ruined the final image, but the way that you rendered it and it gave it more of like an orange or a very rich color to it, I think it actually became the focal point of your piece with the color complementing that pink, that very saturated, hot magenta color, and it worked very well. So great job. I love the little story you wrote for it. The familiar, if you can see it, is in the bottom left. It's a little spider guy. It's a puff. And there are so many things that you did right with this piece, especially in terms of rendering it alongside a stylized proportion piece, that it was very cool to see this one come up in the feed. So once again, huge congratulations to Sarah. You will be receiving a $100 Amazon gift card, a 3-month CG Cookie membership, and the cookie t-shirt. So I wish I had like a clap thing in the background, or I'm just like sitting here in silence and being like, yeah, congratulations. but this was definitely one of the favorites. And for 2 of the judges, this was actually their number 1 pick. So you should be very proud. All right. So now that we know our 3rd and 2nd place, it comes down to the very top spot, who won our Golden Pumpkin. So without further ado, our Golden Pumpkin winner of the 2016 CG Cookie Halloween Concept Contest goes to Nikolai, also known as Guns Free. And this one was very striking. I think when you are scrolling through all the contest entries, this is one that stands out, as it is a very powerful presence when you just look at it. It's the way that you angled the camera and that that look that he has where it's close, but you see underside of him, so he gives this intimidating presence. And honestly, there was a lot that was said with the judges for this one. There were some critique with the way that the fire was it was taking away, it was so much of an overlay glow to it, and even with some of the rendering areas like under the feet. But overall, his presence, this very menacing presence, matched and paired with this goose familiar and the goose on the book. There were a lot of things that tied in the piece together, and I think this was honestly my favorite out of the entire bunch. And for other judges, this was 3. So we had 3 other judges pick this as their top spot, and there was a lot of feedback on this one. The thing that I liked most was you included a GIF of the steps that you took to create this image. And honestly, some of the ones that are in the middle or near the end, I actually felt were a bit stronger. But I think it's just because that glow, I think, takes away some of the presence of the final image. But the way that you rendered that jacket, I thought was absolutely fantastic. Those wrinkles look great. And his presence is felt almost immediately. And the color palette that you chose works very well together. It's very harmonious. Even though you have a bunch of these crazy colors, I would say you almost have a rainbow. I can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple within the entire piece. But the way that you handled it was very smart. You didn't have some of those obnoxious colors stealing the scene, where you kept that very matte, almost like a muted blue be the strong color throughout the entire piece, and then the strong yellow and oranges were just there to complement it. And I think you did it really well. I think if you toned down some of the fire glow, it would have made it stronger. But overall, this one definitely took home my favorite prize along with a few others. And you should be very proud. This was a great piece, a great entry. So you will be taking home a $200 Amazon gift card, a 1-year CG Cookie membership, an exclusive paint over critique, which I will do myself, and we will be talking in the next few days. And I'm excited to give you my constructive critique on this one, just because of how much I like it. Well, I thank you, Probe MFK, for following. And as always with critique, I'm sure you may understand this already, but for those of you that are watching that don't know, whenever you receive critique, don't see it as someone not liking your art, or if you get immediately defensive. If anything, you should know that if someone is giving you a constructive feedback, criticism, and paint over, it's because they really enjoy your piece. There are just some technicalities behind it that could be altered to improve upon it further. And I promise I never have ill intent when doing critiques. So when I'm doing this, just know it's all love. I just want to see this one even push further because I think you have the talent and skill to do it. So along with that, you receive my 2013 to 2014 sketchbook. It is just a little sketchbook that you will receive in the mail alongside your CG Cookie t-shirt. So huge congratulations to Nikolai. I really am glad that you submitted your piece for this contest, and congrats. So for those of you who want to read up on all the judges' insights, well, I thank you, Plugin Jesse, for following. If you want to see all the top 12 and the feedback that we receive from the judges, I'll be posting that later tonight, probably in a few hours. And just know that there is a lot of feedback that goes with each piece. So I want to give an extra thank you to the judges for taking the time to really look at each piece and giving some insight that is beneficial to the artist that submitted. So huge congrats again to all the winners. I didn't want to spend too much time with the stream, so I think I'm going to cut it short as I need to finish up the winners post so that you guys can see it as soon as possible. So huge thank you to everyone that submitted. And I want to thank you guys for coming to the stream. Just know that I'll be doing more casual streams. I'll roll out more information starting next week. But thanks again, guys. Okay, I think I am going to go. So I think that's all I got. And one more time, I'm going to show off our final 3. So thank you guys so much. And if you are interested in doing one of these contests, stay tuned as it'll most likely be it'll probably be January. If I had to give a guess off the top of my head, it'll be early January is when the next contest will begin. So thank you guys, and bye. That's all I got. That's all I got today. Or you know what? Let me see if there's any last minute questions here. Gypsy Hummingbird says, we need a drum roll and a clap emote for contests. I couldn't agree more. I should change the emoticon so that every time a contest is coming up, we get like claps and different emoticons that represent applause. And Vera Sketch says, are there any honorable mentions? There definitely are. There's actually 9. And those will be posted in the post. And I will if you guys don't know where that would be, I'll put a link below on this Twitch page along with all the socials. So Facebook, DeviantArt, Tumblr, Twitter, all those will have a link to it as well if you want to go check out the honorable mentions. So, okay. Thank you guys again. Oh, wait. We got a few more questions. MGS Overkill says, when is your first casual stream? I'm thinking it will be... I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to say next Tuesday or next Thursday. It will probably be next Thursday because then I can have the official Wednesday stream to let you guys know. And then next Thursday, it'll be, you know what, next Thursday. Why don't we plan on that? And I've always been asked if I could do them at night just because in America, I do these streams during the day and a lot of people can't watch it because of work or they're out or they're picking up their kids. So I'm going to be doing a night stream next Thursday and that'll be the first casual stream. Ivan X507 says, you delete the Bob Ross emoticon and I will kill you. I have no plans on doing that. No intentions. Rafa says, thanks for the stream and have a great time. And, Lights and C is asking, what's next week's stream going to be about? Or did you say already? I did not. And next stream will probably be, to be honest, it'll probably be either a material one or an anatomy one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up back to... Well, the community created a profile or a forum post in which you guys have asked me if I could do specific streams. So if you want to go and add your own to that, I will be looking through that list and picking a few to do. I think I will do an anatomy one because I think I'm doing an anatomy course starting next year, or a material one because I'm doing a material course as of right now. Oh, and last thing, sorry, I know I keep saying that it's over, but last thing, a few of you have asked for my address to send magnets to my house so I can put them on my fridge. I put it in the last stream community post, but I will be also putting it on this community post. And if that is something that actually interests you, I will be very, very proud to put your artwork on my fridge. So that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And congrats again to the winners. All right, for real. Bye, everyone.